she knows that you can trust me. We're safe and secure, and I'm not going to put you anywhere that I'm not going to go with you.
It looks like they may be almost detached from that boom right now.
We're about to come down now. I'm just going to step away and go talk to my command team.
Thank you very much for your time today, sir. It was Fire Chief Matthew Pegg, who's obviously very busy, gave us a lot of his time there as he's watching his people just keeping an eye on these folks as they're being lowered to the ground. They're actually coming down right now, as you can see, and they're going to come down over a parquet here, Michael, where it's sort of removed from the massive construction site, this condo construction underneath this crane that you can't see. There's a number of firefighters standing by on the ground as they're lowering her down, and an ambulance, some paramedics standing by as well. They've actually backed up into the parquet and are awaiting her arrival on the safe ground below, where we're hoping, as everybody here, like I mentioned before.
Linda, let me just jump in there so we can recap what is happening here to those who might just be joining us right now here on News Network. You're watching a rescue operation, a very dangerous rescue operation that's taking place in downtown Toronto. This is where, as you can see, a firefighter has now strapped himself to a young woman who has been stuck on a construction crane since the early morning hours. She shimmied her way up there sometime around 3 a.m. local time. Rescue officials were called in around 4 a.m. and for the last 2 to 3 hours they've been working very slowly, very meticulously to try to reach this woman. Now, earlier today we were told that they would actually strap this woman to the crane and swing it and then lower the part on which she was sitting to the ground. But as we heard from Fire Chief Matthew Pegg, who was speaking to our Linda Ward on the ground, that plan has now changed. As you can see, they are rappelling from the crane itself, the woman strapped to that firefighter. This is what's called a rescue rappel, and it's being all done by ropes from 20 stories above the ground, and even dealing with some winds on what is not a freezing day, but still a cold day, and certainly for that woman who's been stuck there for several hours, a very cold day right now. So Linda, as people are watching this, tell us about what is waiting these two on the ground level. Will this woman be brought right to an ambulance? What is happening there on the ground?
Yeah, I imagine they're going to put her right into the ambulance. There's a number of police officers, there's a number of firefighters, and there's a number of paramedics standing by almost immediately underneath where they're going to be bringing her down into this parquet, so that she will be assessed for injuries. We don't really have a sense yet or if she has any injuries, but certainly she is likely going to need to be warmed up. Probably she may be suffering from, shock or being in a bad mental state, so we're prepared for that as well here on the ground. We've got I can count at least a dozen first responders standing underneath, but there's hundreds of people with their iPhones trained on the sky right now. She's about halfway down right now, and everybody here just holding their breath, waiting for this woman to be safely put down onto the ground here, so that first responders can then assess her needs and hopefully bring her home safely. We don't know if there's any family here yet. There certainly doesn't seem to be, and earlier this morning we know they were not able to reach her family, so we know she's in her 20s, and they say essentially it seems like maybe this was a case of misadventure, that maybe she was a thrill seeker. We're not exactly sure why she was up there, but about 3/4 of the way down now, Michael, firefighters moving in closer just to
So still many questions being asked here, Linda. I'm wondering, though, primarily for those who are watching right now, of course, the question is motivation. You said potentially a thrill seeker. Any more details as to how she was able to make her way to the construction crane in the first place?
No, I mean, it looks like there's a gate that's open here into the construction site. I'm not sure if that was open earlier today or not, but I can tell you that she is almost on the ground right now. I don't know if you can see through, and now we have a round of applause. So there she is. She's on the ground, and we are I'm just trying to get a bit of a look in here to see what they're doing. They're going to unhook her from this harness now, and they are essentially, we're just being told to back up a little bit here, and they're going to be brought into an ambulance. We're just trying to get a sense of if she has any injuries here or not, but it seems everybody's pretty calm. They're just talking to her right now, trying to get her out of the harness. Certainly everybody very happy to see all of these folks with their feet planted firmly on the ground today after such an intense rescue situation, not something we see every day in the city of Toronto, Michael.
Absolutely, and again, this is the end of what has been